Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Tiffany Murphy. Greg will join us momentarily from the KFDM newsroom. Tonight, our top story, we are looking at the weather. Chief Meteorologist Greg Bostwick joins us now, and there's something brewing right now. Greg, is this something a lot of Southeast Texans need to take note of?
In just a few minutes.
Developing tonight, we're learning what the future of Parkdale Mall could look like after the company that owns the property announced it plans to file for bankruptcy protection. The owner says that'll happen October 1st. To tell us what it all means, KFDM's Paige Hubbard joins us live from the mall tonight. Paige? Food Service says it's excited to welcome back students and serve up some hot meals, but says overall numbers are down for the meal pickups. A recently adopted waiver now allows parents to pick up meals without the children present. For a list of pickup sites, you can visit our website, kfdm.com. It is day 4, the last day of the Democratic National Convention, and tonight Joe Biden will give his acceptance speech. The Biden campaign says this year Biden and Harris will continue campaigning virtually. They will also tape a joint television interview, which will air Sunday, just ahead of Monday's Republican National Convention. A federal judge ruling today state prosecutors in New York can access President Trump's accounting records for a criminal probe
By Tuesday.
Coming up next on Live at 5, President Trump's former chief. Teachers unions in 2 of the biggest U.S. cities are threatening walkouts over returning to school during the coronavirus pandemic, as colleges in the U.S. report more than 1,000 coronavirus cases. Some schools like Notre Dame and Michigan State suspending or ending in-person learning entirely. Tropical Depression 14 brewing in the Caribbean.
Yeah.
You are watching it closely.
Watch it closely. Now, the good news, it's very poorly defined. It's not very strong.
I'm Tiffany Murphy. Greg Kerr will join us in just a few moments. Right now, though, all eyes on the tropics. There's something brewing right now. It's called number 14. Greg Bostwick joins us now. Tropical Depression 14. Is this something Southeast Texans need to prepare for?
7-day coming up a little bit later.
Developing tonight, CBL Properties, that's the company that owns Parkdale Mall in Beaumont, planning to file for bankruptcy protection no later than October 1st. So, what does that mean for Southeast Texans? KFDM's Paige Hubbard joins us live from Parkdale Mall to answer that question. And you have reaction too from the community page.
In this case.
Happening now, Beaumont ISD expressing concern for how few students are picking up meals as they welcomed back to school for virtual learning. KFDM's Joy Addison reports on how the district's director of child nutrition plans to ensure students are receiving nutritious meals while learning from home. And a recently adopted waiver now allows parents to pick up meals without children present. For a list of pickup sites, we posted them for you on our website. That's kfdm.com. Across the nation, there's been more interest in alternate learning environments for students. One example, charter schools. KFDM's Victoria White reports on reasons why some parents are choosing different classroom settings as the pandemic continues. And the campus director of the Beaumont Classical Academy says there are spots open for this school year, and they are encouraging anyone interested to apply. The charter school will be all virtual for at least 4 weeks. Well, Democrats will finish off their convention tonight in a flourish, giving Joe Biden the night he's dreamt of for decades. It'll also be his chance to convince the public he's a lot more than a VP. Sinclair's chief political correspondent Scott Thuman joins us tonight from D.C. And Scott, just 75 days left until the election. Obviously, this is the 4th night. In the previous 3 nights, there have been a lot of folks that have really railed on President Trump. So how do you think Biden will try and position himself tonight with this big acceptance speech? Scott, CNN is reporting a double-digit drop in viewership this year compared to the convention back in 2016. In fact, the reality show America's Got Talent on Tuesday scored bigger in ratings than the DNC. Do you think a lot of folks are just already made up their minds and just kind of sick of all this hoopla that's going on?
Ticket.
Yeah, absolutely. Great points there. So then after this, Scott, what's your prediction? Do you think Biden and Harris will maybe host some press conferences, take some more TV interviews before the big day?
Entire landscape.
Yeah, especially when we've seen that Joe Biden goes off script a bit, does those live interviews, and then has a few gaffes here and there. So it'll definitely be interesting to see what happens at the debates. And then next week.
Yeah, although President Trump ends up kind of having to back up his statements as well, too. I mean, they both are on the same page as far as having to clean up statements on occasion.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for your time, Chief Political Correspondent Scott Thuman for Sinclair. We appreciate you again today.
You got it.
Hey, we're back after this and a check of the forecast with Chief Meteorologist Greg Bostwick.
Moves up to the Gulf of Mexico.
5 days away. It's like an eternity, you know. It's not an exact science, weather.
No.
So many
especially on
factors.
5 days. That's a long time.
Yeah, so thankfully you and Chad will continue to track.
We'll continue, you bet.
Yeah. And of course there's that KFDM weather app too. It's a free download. Just go to the App Store and type in KFDM weather. That's all the time we have tonight, friends. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll be back at 10. I hope to see you then. Good evening to you. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Tiffany Murphy. Greg Kerr will be along shortly. We begin tonight with breaking news. A standoff happening right now in southern Newton County involving at least one man and several weapons, along with a large police presence of law enforcement officers that are trying to talk him into giving up. Deputies and troopers say that man has fired multiple shots already tonight.
Just a few minutes.
Right now, according to the Bureau of Prisons website, there are 99 inmates sick with COVID-19 in Beaumont's federal prison, but their family members don't know much more. KFDM's Angel San Juan is investigating the COVID crisis at the complex for weeks now, and he joins us with a new wrinkle that's creating even more hardship. Angel?